जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
Oh, hello, and welcome to Cricbuzz Live. The reason I'm speaking like this is because I've come to the English show after quite a while. So I've been speaking street lingo for the last couple of weeks. But now I'm in posh company, so I shall be speaking poshly. Is that even a word? No, it's not. Hi, I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me from the West is Mr. Michael Vaughan. Good to see ya.
Yeah, good to see. Have you actually got tea in there?
No, I've got coffee.
I've got nothing.
Yeah.
I was like,
You know, what you have there, the technical term for that is an empty cup.
I just thought it was part of the show that you pretend to drink, but I've got nothing.
Can
in
you do
mine,
your
so.
best pretend to drink? Just
Yeah, of
do
course,
one
of
for
course,
me.
of course.
Just do one for me. Yeah. Rubbish.
I actually don't drink like that at all. I just
We have to go again. That was not good. We'll just fix it in post. Just add some CGI to it. We'll be fine. And of course, joining us from the East is Lisa Sthalekar, the Beast from the East. How's it going, Lisa?
Hello, guys. How are you?
I'm just saying, as the day goes along, your cup will have something stronger in it, but we're not judging. We're all friends here.
Yeah, don't judge. I'm not judging you guys.
Yeah, but though if you wanted to, there's plenty to judge us about, including the fact that we're looking really spiffy. A big thank you to the folks at H&M for being styling partners of Cricbuzz Live. So, thank you very much. Thank you. But of course, moving to the two games that are happening today, Saturday, Sunday, you know, that means double headers. Lovely weather in the afternoon to play a game of cricket because it's pleasant 40-45 degrees. In Lucknow, where the first game is happening. That's the defending champions, Gujarat, will be taking on serious contenders, Lucknow. That's the first game, of course, that's happening today. Oh, yeah, you popped a button on your jacket. We just put on weight in the last 3 minutes.
I think I have. What was in that drink?
What is going on in the studio?
I'll tell you
boys?
something. I'll tell you what has happened, Lisa. Michael just gulped his fake tea down real quick, caused a bit of bloating, and the button popped. All right? It's nothing to do with the jacket. It's all to do with him. But the two teams, of course, these two teams are popping, aren't they, Lisa? Both of them.
Yeah, they are. I mean, and it's great to see, actually, because both sides were very successful last year. Obviously, Gujarat going all the way. But then to be able to come back into your second year, and we always talk about second year blues for individual players and sometimes teams, but both of them have been able to really put some pressure on and been playing some really good cricket, and that's why it's no surprise that these two sides are actually close to the top. I mean, the fact that, you know, net run rate only separates Lucknow from Rajasthan, but Gujarat not that far behind and with a game still to spare.
That's right. They play their sixth game today, so a game in hand, as we like to call it in the footy. A game in hand. But the one thing about Gujarat, though, we just have to touch on this point. The difference between last year and this year is, we've been talking about it a lot, is that last year they were winning games that they should not have. This year they've lost two games that they should not have.
Yeah, but you also look at it, they're in every game. You know, some teams that lose, they're not in the contest by 10 overs in the second innings. So I think when you become a really good T20 team, you don't win every game. It's impossible. It's T20 cricket, but when you lose, you only just lose. And that's what Gujarat are. I mean, the captain's outstanding. He's not fired individually as yet, as well as he did last year. And I think that's a bit of a warning sign to the rest of the sides. When Hardik starts to find his own form, as well as all the others, I still think they're a team that are going to be very much in it towards the back end of this tournament.
And that is a very good segue to bring us to our next segment, which is the Men of Platinum. And we both are men of platinum, so we deservedly get to talk about our man of platinum today, which is Hardik Pandya. Lisa, sorry, you got to sit this one out, all right? I'm just saying.
Yes.
You can give us your input, but you cannot take away from the fact that we both and Hardik Pandya, we put ourselves in the same gang, are men of platinum. If you have any objection, please tell us now so we can mute your mic. There you go. Excellent. Very nicely done. I'm in control of my house here, all right? And as is Hardik, isn't he, Michael? He's in control of his house. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Nobody thought of him captain 14 months ago, and now he's like to the man of born.
Yeah, man of platinum, Hardik Pandya. No surprise. I mean, he's got so much self-belief, confidence, all-round game. He's a perfect modern style cricketer, can pretty much do everything. He's got the tattoos as well. That's again a modern style cricketer. He will captain India. Ooh. Without any question, he will end up being, whether he becomes the test captain, I'm not too sure, but he'll certainly captain India in white ball cricket. I think he's an outstanding captain. Yeah,
that's a big call, but an opinion that seems to be quite popular because there's something about him, and Lisa, you can see it, right? When a guy's got his ship under control.
Yeah, well, when we talk about men of platinum, we started to talk about the West Indian players. He's got an air of that as well. I mean, he's joked around that he has got a bit of West Indian in him. Obviously, that the period of time with Mumbai and Pollard and has certainly rubbed off on him. But one thing that I'd love to see from him is there was an unknown and uncertainty about his captaincy skills when he first went to Gujarat. Everyone's like, really? How's this guy going to go? Like, He is a bit of a jokester. He loves to play his cricket with a big smile on his dial. Is he the right person to lead? And he certainly has been able to do that. He's been able to, when things haven't necessarily gone well, what I love about him is that he's been able to keep a straight face. Like, the emotions are exactly the same, whether it be, winning by a huge margin or losing as well. So, I like his stability that he gives to the side, and it obviously works with that playing group as well.
Absolutely. Stability, that's a great word. And, this is a team that's being persevering. It's got, great self-confidence, and I guess that's what makes a man of platinum. You can also tell us who your men of platinum are. You can comment on all our social media handles. There you go. We've got them all right here. There they are. That's right. You young people know what these things mean. I don't know. I still have a rotary phone, but yeah. But let me tell you what has happened in Lucknow. Gujarat has won the toss and they have decided to, bat first. Oh, I like that. This is something Lisa, this is something that Virender Sehwag talks about a lot. Whenever a captain in a day game chooses to field, he says, why are you burning 11 people in the sun when you can burn only 2?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And we're starting to get, obviously, a little bit later in April and May, we know can be extremely uncomfortable and so tiring, energy sapping, chasing the ball. And also we tend to see that pitches start to slow up a little bit more and the spinners start to come in the second innings. I know the pitch doesn't necessarily change a lot sometimes, but you might as well, like you said, burn the guys out there 11 at the start and then be able to really kind of go hard and have that scoreboard pressure. So I like the fact in day games we're starting to see teams actually win the toss and decide to bat first.
I love how Lisa has said that it is uncomfortable. That's a very polite way. Lisa's very polite. It's a polite way of putting what's happening in that belt of India right now. It's a proper heat wave. And also she's at an undisclosed location with air conditioning at 14 degrees. So she has no idea. But Michael and me here, we're doing the hard yards. We walked from our houses to the studio. It is brutal. That's the correct word, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you've told a little fib there. I came in a very nice car with aircon. So.
Quite a few. There's a few fibs there.
Yeah.
But you understand, beyond the exaggeration, you understand my point.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see, I think, T20 cricket, it's almost become the norm that teams win the toss and chase. We saw yesterday afternoon, just a couple of days ago, the RCB team getting 174. That was enough in that first game. So I think runs on the board, particularly when it's hot. You drain away the 11, or the impact player might come on and do 5 overs. So you might have one player that's sat in the dugout that might be fresh.
Yeah.
But you're kind of looking at trying to get a score. I'm totally with Lisa that this time of the time, you generally start with the IPL where the pitches are flat and there's big scores. And then the middle period, you get scores of around 150, 170 that become very, very competitive. And towards the back end, we get back to a few wickets that are a little bit fresher and better. So I like the fact that teams, and particularly today, getting the runs on the board and trying to defend.
I love what you say about the impact player. The impact player is going to be that one cousin that we all have who's like, come on, guys, what are we going to do now? And everybody else is like, guys, everybody just chill out. Right? Can everybody just calm down? Oh, yeah, that's what's going to happen. Who's that going to be? Let's have a look at the Gujarat 11. They, of course, are going to be batting first. So, Vijay Shankar's back. Vijay Shankar was ill, so that's why he was out. And so he comes back. There's Shubman Gill, Ridhiman Saha, Vijay Shankar, David Miller, Hardik Pandya, the captain, Abhinav Manohar. Seen some good hitting from him, and I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more. Rahul Tewatia, Rashid Khan, Mohammad Shami, Mohit Sharma, and Noor Ahmed, the left arm spinner. So there's no Alzari Joseph. I guess they have seen this surface. It's the same surface that Lucknow played on, Lisa, a couple of days ago. So no surprise with that slowish, sticky surface that they've decided to go with Noor.
Yeah, it gives you a bit of an indication, doesn't it, when the home, when teams start to select their playing 11, you go, okay, they've taken out a pacey, they've added a spin bowler. I mean, Noor Ahmed, he came in as the impact player last game and actually did really well. So I think that gives you an indication of the type of pitch that we're going to get, and probably a score batting first of 170 might be something in the vicinity that they're looking at.
There's still there's no Sai Sudarshan in this game. So he had a side strain in the previous game, so perhaps not okay there, but he's done quite well. Got a chance when Kane Williamson got injured. Got a chance to play at 3 and won the player of the match in one game. But this looks like a good batting side. Let's have a look at the Lucknow team and then we'll speak about both in detail. This is what they've decided to do. There's KL Rahul, Kyle Mayers. So still no game for QDK, but can't be because Mayers did well in the previous game, got a 50 with the bat. Excuse me. There's Marcus Stoinis, Deepak Hooda, Nicholas Pura, Nicky P, who's been killing it for Lucknow, plays not as much with quantity, but a lot with quality. Krunal Pandya, Ayush Badoni, Naveen ul Haq, Amit Mishra, Avesh Khan, and Ravi Bishnoi. So they have sat out. Who does Amit Mishra come in place of? Mark Wood, of course. There's still no Mark Wood.
Yeah, well, ul Haq in the game against Rajasthan was excellent. You know, his slow balls at the start were tremendous. I thought they looked a real good team against Rajasthan. Got a decent score. Some would say they should have got a few more, but they were clever in the field with the use of Marcus Stoinis with the ball in hand. He played nicely with the bat as well. So I thought KL Rahul was excellent as a captain. You know, I've never really looked at KL and thought, oh yeah, his captaincy is outstanding. But against Rajasthan, I just thought he had that bit between his teeth. He had a little bit of a grump on. I think he got a fine for his over rate, so he didn't get through the overs quick enough. But it may have had something to do with the fact that he was communicating with his team so much that it took him a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But his bowling side were excellent. And ul Haq was right at the forefront of that with those slow balls. So no surprise on what we believe is going to be a drier wicket where the cutters may come into play, that they've gone with him. I would think that Mark Wood's going to take another few days. He's had an illness. And maybe they're just resting him. And because of the surface being potentially that little bit slower, they're just giving him another game to get right.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to risk him, you don't really want to risk him on this wicket, right? It's not going to... But Mark Wood's the kind of bowler who can do something on any wicket. The surface doesn't matter for him, but he's not well. So, Naveen ul Haq, it's a great option. He did well in the previous game. Just a word on KL Rahul's captaincy. Lisa, we have two very opposing style of captains here today. Hardik Pandya, who's always smiling no matter what happens, and KL Rahul, who seems like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, right?
Yeah, maybe it goes a little bit more to their personalities and who they're trying to portray as well on the field. I've always felt that KL almost is very similar to a Virat, not from an emotional point of view in the sense of, you kind of want the camera on him all the time because he's going to give you something, but just the style of how he captains, how he looks, how he prepares himself, especially from a batting point of view. But yeah, he is a completely different, whereas Hardik just kind of goes with the flow. You do get the sense that he takes things on board very seriously, and maybe he's the type of guy that overanalyzes what he does or really prepares a lot. I guess only those close to him or those around the team will know the type of style of captain. But yeah, he does take on the world's problems when he's out there, and it's been okay for now. But you don't want to. The problem is that this tournament is so long as well that you don't want to burn all your energy, especially as a skipper at the front end of the tournament.
No, it's a great point. Sometimes we tend to judge people by what we see. And I'm happy the two of you are saying his captaincy was good, because a lot of times you see, oh, he's not smiling, so he must be. No, that doesn't make... captaincy has nothing to do with smiling, right? It's not like he's going to win a game by just smiling. And also, look at that dugout. There's Gautam Gambhir, there's Andy Flower, There's a couple of really serious blokes there, man.
I was just about to say that. I think if you look at the success of a lot of teams in many sports, but particularly cricket, the captain and coach combination is so important.
Yeah.
And look at the teams that have had the most success. You look at the Mumbai Indians, Rohit Sharma, Mahela, great combination. Look at Chennai Super Kings, Stephen Fleming, MS Dhoni. Gujarat already have got a combination at the top in Nehru and Hardik Pandya that looks very strong. They look like they're very tight. I can't imagine they speak from the same hymn sheet all the time, but when they speak to the team and together, I bet they speak as one, which is the key to that leadership combination. And then you look at Andy Flower and you look at KL Rahul, again, a decent combination, very similar. So I think that combination of captain-coach is one that we don't speak about enough. It's got to be right.
Yeah.
Because particularly in the IPL where there are a lot of politics, there are a lot of people to deal with. I've just been in the team hotel at the Trident and I saw the Punjab backroom team, the media team.
Yeah.
The media team was bigger than what I used to have as a backroom team with the England national team. I've never seen so many people. I say, what are these people? Oh, that's the media team. What? There's 10 of them. Yeah. You know, that's just the media team. So it's managing a huge group of personnel now. And, you know, that key is the captain and the coach combination. If that's a good one and a strong one, you see teams have success.
Punjab's media team is bigger than our team. Wow. Maybe we can absorb a few of them. I don't know. But anyway, with KL Rahul, the interesting thing, though, is say whatever you want about his captaincy, right? And about the fact that he's serious and intense in the field. But, I mean, you can't question his batting talent. Just the artistry and just his accomplishment as a batter, Lisa, I mean, that is just beyond question, right?
Yeah, he's a banker, you know, as we like to say. You know, he's good for about 500 runs.
Yeah.
I know that there's always been question marks around his strike rate, and when you compare him to Shubman Gill, you can see a stark difference. Yeah. But Shubman Gill hasn't he's still at the beginning of his IPL career, but he's not your banker of 500 runs. So it depends what the team wants. It depends what the coaching staff want. And what they need from him. Yeah. I think he's certainly adaptable, but he's found something that has worked well for him, that ensures that his team gets a decent total that potentially they can defend or potentially chase down. You know, I guess his development and his movement throughout this tournament is, if games start to go harder, can he also go harder in those different phases? Can he just pick up in one of those phases? That's all.
It's a good point. There's a lot of talk around his strike rate. Of course, he's a banker, gets all those runs. Do you think, Michael, sometimes he gets a little too worried about what's to come? Because that's a really stellar batting lineup. He needn't worry so much or be so cautious.
Yeah, I mean, I think in Test cricket is a beautiful play. In 50-over cricket, I have no doubts. Of those two formats, I think he's magnificent. In T20 cricket in this era, I do have a doubt about him. I think he can up the ante.
Yeah,
you know,
especially in the power
I think
play.
He can take more risks. Yeah. You know, I think I see quite a lot of the Indian players that they seem to take quite a few balls to get in.
Yeah.
And I think in T20 cricket, the modern game is gone, that you get too many balls. I think you've almost got to go. These batting lineups used to think that down to 7 you had a batting lineup, and then 8, 9, 10, 11 you had a few rabbits that you could kind of bowl to. The batting lineup has been extended. They generally go down to 9 or even 10 these days, and in some cases 11.
Yeah.
Which gives you the licence at the top in those first 6. As I said the other day, the first 6 used to be that you'd try and target 50, and that was a good start. If you got 50 in the first 6, I honestly think with the way that these players can play now, targeting 70 is not out of the realms.
True.
You know, and I think someone like KL Rahul, you look at Shubman Gill, and if I was in charge of Indian cricket, I'd be looking at the likes of Shubman Gill, who are younger, fearless, and they should be fearless because of what's ahead of them. And you have to play in an aggressive sense. And for someone like KL, I think he has the game. If you went and said to KL Rahul, well, all we want you to do is go up in one gear.
Yeah.
So I talk about the Skoda in 3rd gear. You don't want that. He's not going to be a Ferrari going straight out there in 5th gear and flying. But can he get to 4th gear a little bit quicker? Yeah. Can he start to strike it in that power play a little bit harder and a little bit sooner? If he can, and I think he's got the game to do so. And I think, you know, we've been talking, and people have been talking about Virat's strike rate. And the reason why people target Virat in terms of his strike, because he's that good that he could easily just pump up his strike rate by 10, by just playing a little bit more in terms of the aggressive nature. So it's not criticising him, it's just giving them that little bit more of a belief. Go on, You're so good. You can.
Yeah.
You can do it. It's not that
Yeah.
we're asking you to do something you can't do. And if I was him, I'd be looking at Shubman Gill and some of the younger players thinking, wait a minute, they're chasing me down the rails. They're
True, especially in
coming
T20
after
cricket.
me.
I'll throw another name in there, by the way. And I feel like he's not been discussed much in the last 12 months, but he is going to throw his hat in the ring soon, especially with white ball cricket. It's going to be Rituraj Gaikwad.
Without any question, and he's consistent and he's scoring quickly. You know, I think, you're silly as an older player, not older, but a player coming towards the back end of your career, if you're not looking at the youngsters coming through and identifying that this young brigade that are coming through are brought up, hitting the ball hard, scoring. And I've just had a little bit of lunch with Liam Livingston. He never mentioned average once. All he talked about is strike rate.
Yeah.
In our day, it was all about what's your average?
Yeah.
What's your average? You're playing. All they talk about is strike. So that is the modern game. So if the senior players aren't realising that the game's actually moved on in the time that they've been playing the game, these young whippersnappers, they're going to come chasing past you.
I'll tell you this. It's a great point you make, because you look at Nicholas Pooran playing for Lucknow, right? Doesn't matter what the average is, because he's played so few deliveries. But Lisa, his strike rate's 200, right? In fact, Lucknow fans are saying, is he playing too little? Like, why is he only, the average is not bad as well, 34, because he's got a couple of not outs in there as well. But that strike rate of 200, when you've got that coming on the back end, that should allow you to go even crazier at the top.
Yeah, it should. And this is where I actually think statistics need to change, or awards for players. So it shouldn't be, I know we've got the orange cap and the purple cap for the most runs, but we've spoken a lot in commentary over the years, and even here on Cricbuzz, about, well, hang on, that's just your top 3 batters that are going to get that, right? But who's going to win you games of cricket? It's those guys that are going to get you, an 8-ball 20 or, a 34 off 12 balls. Like, they're the impact players that are going to win you more games, and they actually need to be rewarded. So, and even sometimes strike rate, and we've spoken about this at length, especially this year, about Virat and a number of players. They go hard in certain phases and then slow down. Even strike rate sometimes doesn't quite tell you the story. So I think that the statistics that we're capturing from T20 cricket probably need to change from a commercial point of view for the general viewer or punter to go, oh, what a great season they've had. They've scored 600 runs. Well, but their strike rate's only 110.
Good point,
and everyone else is like 180. And so
Lisa, I think we're on
that's
something.
where the change
I think we should campaign. So we've got an orange cap, a purple cap. I think we should have a red flashing
fiery
cap. And you've got to qualify by, you've got to score 200 runs.
Yeah.
So that means you've played a bit of cricket. But it's the high strike rate.
Yeah.
Whoever's got the high strike rate, they score more than 200 runs. So you've not just gone out and got 4 off one ball. That you've got to score a number of runs in the IPL. If you get over 200, it's the high strike rate.
Let me make a few calls.
Yeah.
I'll get this done.
Can you sort that?
I sorted it.
Who are you ringing?
Red fiery.
I
cannot
Cricbuzz
disclose
live logo as well.
Can't
on
disclose my sources, my inside people, but I'll get it done. In fact, you guys send in a lot of questions as well, sitting at home in front of your screens, and I get these questions on as well. Guilfred has asked this question, right, about Nicholas Pooran and his power hitting abilities. So what you're saying, right, Lisa, is that you're getting an 8-ball 20. Pooran's doing that a lot. The question, of course, everyone is asking is that he is much, it's not a question, he is much better than an 8-ball 20. So do you want to give him 18, 28, maybe even 30 balls?
Yeah, it's all about also as a player within the team what your role is, and some players prefer less time. I think Nicholas Pooran, whether he's batted in different positions, whether it be for West Indies or other franchises, he has batted at number 3, and
and he does well at 3. We see these numbers; they're good.
Yeah,
You'll take them.
There's not a big difference. You'd absolutely take them. So, I mean, there is potentially an option for them to bring him up. Yeah. But at the moment, things are going okay as well. And I think probably long term, they want to get Deepak Hooda a chance to really score runs. You want everyone firing. And sometimes at the beginning of the tournament, if you're still winning, you're happy for those type of guys like a Hooda to spend a bit more time out there, hoping that they'll kind of click at the back end. And that means then everyone's firing, and you shouldn't really be losing at the back end, which is the most important time.
Yeah, I think Guilfred's question is valid because Deepak Hooda has not been getting the runs at number 3. But playing Puran at 3, well, that's a completely different role than coming at the end and playing in the last few overs. Maybe bring him out, over 13, 14, whatever wicket falls, you bring him out there. Could see that happen today. I don't know. They've got a lot of batting options. Stoinis has got some runs as well. So they are definitely looking good. We do have a couple of question marks about Gujarat's batting, though, because that batting has far more talent and far more explosivity, which is not a word. But explosiveness should have used that one, then what they're doing in terms of the big hits, in terms of their sixes, they are actually, and I don't think anybody would have put a quid on this in the beginning, they're right at the bottom of the chart in terms of hitting sixes.
Yeah, I mean, we're being critical of Gujarat, the champions, but I think that's a real worry for the rest of the tournament because they haven't fired yet.
Yeah.
And they've lost 2 games, only closely. They, to me, are the team that, when they get it right, are going to be the side to beat. I just think they've got everything covered. But in terms of the most runs by sixes, you don't have to look at the numbers there.
Just 107 runs with sixes in 5 games. No, that's not 107 sixes. That's 107 runs with sixes. How did they get 107?
I know, how did you get 107?
That doesn't even divide by 6.
How does that work out?
Yeah, it's 1996.
I don't quite
102,
work.
108. What did they doctor run?
I don't know what happened.
They were given 5 for one of the sixes. That's just some such.
Yeah, I mean those kind of stats there. I don't think they'd be concerned about that.
Yeah,
honestly, because you've also got to remember that throughout the IPL you play on many different pitches, and there are some pitches that the sixes aren't that possible.
Their home ground is big. Gujarat is big.
Wankhede and obviously Bangalore. You've got 2 venues there that the ball travels out the ground on a regular basis. So of all the stats that I see in T20 cricket, that stat is the one that I'd look at and go, are we winning games? Are we getting close to winning games? Yes, we are. I wouldn't be concerned about that too much. And also, Hardik's not fired.
Correct.
And he's their big 6-hitting guy. Yeah. So he's not fired. When he fires, those stats will start to improve.
Okay, look at the number of 6-hitters you have there, right? That entire middle order, Hardik Pandya, right? David Miller, Abhinav Manohar, Rahul Tewatia, Rashid Khan. Come on. Rashid Khan was a little snake shot. I want him to come at 3, man. How come nobody asked that Cricbuzz live question? He's such an entertaining batter. I love him. But it's a good point though, Lisa, that Michael makes, is that it doesn't matter if they're not hitting the sixes. They are getting enough runs because they've won 3 games and the other 2, their total was good enough. At one time, it was that historic Rinku Singh 5 into 6 that he hit. And then there was Sanju Samson and Hetmeyer just, playing blinders of innings. So they're getting enough runs.
Yeah, they are getting enough. And I agree. They're almost, even though they're not hitting enough sixes, I agree with Vaughan in the sense that everyone look out when they do click. So that is concerning for the rest of the competition. I actually think, I don't know if I saw this correctly, but I think Ahmedabad is a ground where the most sixes have been hit. It's that and like Chinnaswamy, as we expect with Chinnaswamy. It's just that they're not being able to hit the sixes at their home ground. Everyone else is. So that may be a concern from a bowling point of view. But I certainly think they haven't fired yet with the bat. I mean, when you look at the top and they've got Shubman Gill and Saha, they're 2 type of players that aren't necessarily those that are going to bludgeon the ball. And they've actually been getting the bulk of the runs. So once that middle order starts to fire, you watch them kind of slowly go up that ladder, which I think will be important for the back end. Yeah,
Gujarat, of course, is going to be batting first. They won the toss and decided to do that. It's the same pitch that was used in Lucknow for their previous game against Rajasthan. So pretty fast. Shubman and Saha will have to judge the surface and figure out what a good score would be, because you don't want to go for 200 and get skittled for 130. Because the Lucknow bowling, well, they're not going to give you too many quarters as well, because if you look at their bowling attack, there is no Mark Wood, but Avesh Khan has been doing well. He had a couple of games where he was a little off colour up front, but in the previous game, he did well. They've got spin option, they've got left arm, they've got right arm, they've got experience, they've got pace, they've pretty much got everything once we have a look at that bowling attack.
Yeah, they have. I mean, and again, I'll go back to KL Rahul's management of the bowling unit against Rajasthan in a defence was excellent. He's now going to manage that bowling attack, going out there first to try and restrict Gujarat of any kind of total, because I do feel on a pitch that's used against the bowling attack that Gujarat have, I think they'll have to get them bowled out for under par. You know, if you're getting a par score on a pitch that's used and you've got Rashid Khan and co in your ranks, you'd fancy your chances. So this bowling attack that KL Rahul has is full of confidence, played great in the last game. They've got to do it again today because I just don't see them chasing a huge score against that bowling attack.
Yeah, here's the thing though. I think they've got Ayush Badoni's name there. This confusion has just gone on and on because which team are you giving first? I have a feeling that they're going to have a bowler in there instead of Ayush Badoni, who might come in as an impact sub when they're batting because they are bowling first, are Lucknow. But if you notice, the number of options that KL Rahul has, Lisa, he's basically got 2 wicket keepers and 9 bowlers.
Yeah, he does. And the scary thing is that Krunal Pandya actually hasn't bowled a couple of games, right? So I wonder as the tournament starts to progress and it starts to turn a little bit more, whether he'll start to be utilised. But the fact that Stoinis came in last game and bowled for the first time and had a huge impact, that's going to allow them to kind of muck around with their playing 11 and their bowling options as well. I mean, for him to come in and bowl his 4 overs, though, I think I remember in one of the commentary, I think he was either mic'd up or something, he said, I was ready to bowl because these type of pitches, you know, are the ones that I can be effective. I can bowl that back of a length. He bowls those cutters and is quite effective. And then you've got Kyle Mayers as well, who can also give you an over or 2, whether they decide to use him up front within the power play just to get rid of an over. So he has luxury for choice, and I'm glad he hasn't kind of almost gone, you know, let's go around the circle, you bowl an over, and then we'll just move to different positions because you want actual players to know what their role is based on conditions and give those players an opportunity if they get hit for 1 over to potentially come back.
Like a kid's birthday party. Everybody gets to go. Everybody. There's no kid's birthday party in Joy Factor ever because those questions are for serious people, man. They're for high rollers, big hitters, whippersnappers. You want to read this, Michael? Because I
don't think it's right, that question.
Ooh. Ours being dismissed. Without. That's without. That's a typo. Without being dismissed. Who held the record before him? So Adam Voges. Have I said his name correctly?
Yes.
Adam Voges.
Yes, I think you have. Yeah.
Currently holds the record for the maximum test runs without being dismissed. Who held the record before him? With hours being dismissed. For the maximum test runs with hours being dismissed. Okay, that's... Who held the record before
I'm confused.
Yeah, well, the thing with Joy is that the answer will confuse you, the question will confuse you, he will confuse
How
you.
can you answer a question when you can't even understand the question?
Well, welcome to my life with Joy Factor for 5 years. I don't understand them, I can't read them.
It's because I've got 2 of his questions right this week. So he's gone. He's done. There's no way that Vaughan's going to get another question. I'm actually going to put a question that he can't even understand the question.
You know, I just want to tell you, Michael, nobody likes a show off. Huh? Nobody likes a show off. Yeah, Lisa,
You've got to give us a chance.
Me, right?
You've got to give us a chance by letting us understand the question.
Yeah. He just comes on in and goes, I've just got 2.
I got 2 right. Look at me. I'm a big guy.
I mean, I'll be honest, they were very, very easy.
I'll tell you what.
They were involving things that I'd been involved in myself.
Insider trading. All right, I get it. But I'll tell you something. Michael's number is now going up from 2 to 3 today. It's not that day today. It's not going up. But, Michael, I have something else for you because this is a kid's birthday party. So I've got another contest that you could win.
Oh, great.
Which is the score guess. Gujarat batting first in Lucknow. What are they going to get?
Am I going first, am I?
All right.
Okay. I think they'll get 172.
172. Okay, we're going by... See, we can go by longitude or latitude. In each way, it's going to be Michael, me, and then Lisa.
Yeah.
Right? No matter how we divide the globe. So your number is
172.
172. Okay, my number is 182. You go 162, I'm telling you, safe, Lisa.
And my number's... I'm going to go 167.
167. Ooh, she's parked that car pretty close. All right. Things are serious here, man. All right, we're going to go play musical chairs now and pin the tail on the donkey because that's what the time is for chips and sandwiches. Be back in the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox. Big thank you to Michael Vaughan and Lisa Sthalekar. I'm Gaurav Kapur. We'll be here with you all day on Cricbuzz Live, so be here with us. But not now, because we got to go now, but we'll be back soon. Bye-bye.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ലക്നൗ ജംഗ്ഷൻ നിൽദാണത് കടികെ ಹೊರಟಿರುವரை ചെന്നൈ തിരുച്ചിറപ്പള്ളി
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दें